Boys and girls, I am here ready to read you some more of the Doll People, but first I have a little silly joke for you. You ready? What kind of tie do pigs wear? Ready? A pigsty. Have you ever heard of a pigsty before? Someone says, "This desk is a pigsty. It's such a big mess," right? But do you hear it? Pigsty, pigsty. There you go. Tell that one at dinner tonight. All right, and now we're on to the next chapter of the Doll People. And because it's been a few days since we've read, I want to give you a little bit of a reminder of what was happening last time when we read. Remember, Annabelle was up in her room, and she snapped the journal shut, put it under the covers, and went downstairs to find her family in the parlor. She put her hands on her hips, and she said, "If you aren't going to go look for Auntie Sarah, then I am." And Uncle Doll stands up and says, "If you're going to go no matter what, then I am going to go with you." And here we go. Annabelle stared at her uncle. "You are?" "Yes." "But why?" "I just am." "Me too," said Bobby. Mama put her hand over her heart. "I insist on only one thing," said Uncle Doll. "That we go tomorrow night. It's too late to leave now. The Palmers will be up soon. We must leave when we have plenty of time to get down the stool, and more importantly, to get back up the stool when we return." So remember, the dollhouse is on a shelf, and there's a stool that Kate used to stand on to reach the top floors when she was little, and the dolls are planning on climbing down it to get down to the floor so they can explore the house. And so it was settled. Mama, Papa, and Nanny were frightened, but Uncle Doll had a private chat with them. Annabelle couldn't hear what he said to them, but when the chat was over, they agreed unhappily that Annabelle and Bobby could go with Uncle Doll. Ooh, so the three of them are going to go search for Auntie Sarah. Annabelle was jubilant. And looking at my face, what do you think jubilant means? You're right, super happy. But how was she ever going to manage to wait during the whole next long day until the Palmers went to bed again? She did manage, of course, even though she was sure it was the most boring day of her entire life. The only vaguely interesting thing that happened was that just after lunchtime, a delivery truck pulled into the Palmers' driveway. The doorbell rang, and through Kate's open window, Annabelle heard Grandma Catherine say to the delivery person, "Just in time. Her birthday is almost here, and I have to hide this before she sees it." A moment later, the front door closed. Not long after that, Annabelle heard Grandma Catherine come puffing up the stairs, heard a thud, the sound of another door opening, of something being slid along the floor. Can you imagine what a box sounds like when it's being slid across the floor? And then the door being closed. What do you think that was? "I bet Grandma Catherine just hid Nora's birthday present." Is that what you were thinking? Annabelle thought, and she spent quite a bit of the rest of her day wondering what the present would be. By the time Kate went to bed that night, though, Annabelle had stopped thinking about the present. All she wanted was for Kate and the rest of the Palmers to fall asleep for the deepest night to descend. When it did, Annabelle ran to the front of the dollhouse and looked across Kate's room. She could make out the captain at the foot of Kate's bed. That means she could see the captain. "I think he's asleep," Annabelle whispered to Uncle Doll. "I hope so," Uncle Doll replied nervously. "Are you ready?" Annabelle asked Bobby and her uncle. They nodded. "Well then, this is goodbye," said Annabelle to the rest of her family. She's brave. "Only for a few hours," said Bobby. But Mama and Papa and Nanny looked as though they might never see the explorers again. "We'll be back by 4:30, promised Uncle Doll. 4:30 a.m. So in the morning. Mama swallowed hard. Nanny turned away. "Righto," said Papa. Annabelle jumped from the parlor down to the stool. At the edge of the top step, she knelt, turned, and slid backward onto the next step, landing with a small thump. Bobby and Uncle Doll followed her. A few minutes later, they were all sprawled in a heap on the floor. And there's the picture of them on the floor. And see how it looks like little steps that they came down? Bobby glanced at Kate's bed. "Is she still asleep?" he asked. "I think so," whispered Annabelle. "Is the captain still asleep?" asked Uncle Doll. "I hope so," said Annabelle. "Let's go." Uncle Doll hesitated. "Oh, please don't change your mind. Think of Auntie Sarah. She needs us," whispered Annabelle. Uncle Doll straightened himself. "Let's hurry then." he said. Annabelle led the way through the darkness across Kate's room. They stopped at the doorway into the hall. Annabelle peered cautiously around it. I don't see anything, she said. She stepped into the hall. It was very long and very dark. Did the captain see us? She asked Uncle Doll. I don't think so. Then let's start looking. Remember, we can't call for Auntie Sarah, said Uncle Doll. Someone might hear us. All we can do is search. Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll peered into the other rooms. They scooted under dressers and beds and armchairs. They peeked into closets and investigated shoes and slippers. All those are kind of different words for looked. They peeked and they investigated. If I were Auntie Sarah, I wonder where I would be, said Bobby after a while. She might be up high. If she were down low, the humans would have found her long ago. Unless she's really hidden, said Annabelle. Inside something, in a box or a trunk, or in a box, in a trunk, in a closet. I'm going to call for her anyway, said Bobby. Uncle Doll grabbed his arm. I won't call loudly, said Bobby. I'll just call like this. Auntie Sarah. See, that's not too loud. I'll call too, said Annabelle. Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll were standing against a wall in a room with a couch and 2 chairs and no bed. Whose room is this? Whispered Annabelle. Oh, whose room is this? Whispered Annabelle. I don't think it's a bedroom, replied Uncle Doll. It looks like a sitting room. Good. We can call a little more loudly in here, said Bobby. Auntie Sarah, Bobby called. Auntie Sarah, Auntie Sarah. Hey, said Annabelle, did you hear something? Yes, it sounded like a voice, exclaimed Uncle Doll. Listen. After a moment, Annabelle heard the voice again. Help, it called, help, help. Do you think they found Auntie Sarah already? And then, help, cried another voice. Help, help us. Uncle Doll, said Bobby, does that sound like Auntie Sarah to you? If it's Auntie Sarah, she's with someone else, said Annabelle. She raised her voice slightly. Auntie Sarah, is that you? Where are you? We're over here, in this box, one of the voices replied. Ooh, what do you think that is? Is it Nora's birthday present? I think we're in a closet, another voice added, but there's no one here named Auntie Sarah. Annabelle spotted a closet door slightly ajar. And ajar, remember, means just open a little. Come on, she said to Bobby and Uncle Doll. Together, they managed to swing the door open. By the moonlight streaming through the window, Annabelle could just make out a large cardboard carton with some letters and words printed on the side. Hello? Said Annabelle. Hello, replied a voice from inside the box. Who are you? Asked Annabelle. We're the Funcrafts. I'm Mom Funcraft. I'm Dad Funcraft, said a second voice. I'm Tiffany Funcraft, said the big sister. I'm Bailey Funcraft, said the brother, in a younger sounding voice. Baby Brittany is here. Oh, Baby Brittany is here too, said Mom Funcraft's voice, but she's asleep. And anyway, she can't talk yet, added Tiffany. What are they? You're right, they're dolls, just like Annabelle and her family. Who are you? Asked Dad Funcraft. And here's how the name is written. Dad Funcraft. And Funcraft is written like it's his last name. They're both words are capitalized. And who's Auntie Sarah? I'm Annabelle Doll, said Annabelle, and this is my brother Bobby and my uncle. Auntie Sarah is my aunt, Uncle Doll's wife, and she's been missing for decades. Decades are 10 years, chunks of 10 years. We thought we would look for her tonight. Annabelle's voice trailed off. She was trying to read the words on the side of the box. Funcraft doll and dream house set model 110. Includes plastic dream house, doll family, all furniture, and snap-on clothes and parts included on front. Not recommended for children under 3. And here, there's the whole description talking about what's inside the box. So it's a dollhouse, and it's for Nora. Probably so she won't go into Annabelle's room, into Kate's room anymore and play with the dollhouse in her room. Bobby, Uncle Doll, said Annabelle in a loud whisper, another family is inside that box. I wonder which doll maker made them and how long it took them to travel across the ocean, said Bobby. I don't know, but let's see what's pictured on the front, said Annabelle. I don't know. Oh, I don't know, but let's see what's pictured on the front, said Annabelle. Annabelle, Bobby, and Uncle Doll scurried around to the other side of the carton. To Annabelle's dismay, she discovered that the front was the side that had been placed on the floor. Rats, she exclaimed. I wanted to see what they look like. Hello, are you still out there? Called the voice. It sounded like Mom Funcraft. Yes, we're here, said Annabelle. She paused, then she called, Did you come from England? How was your trip? England, repeated Mom Funcraft. Is that a factory? That's where we came from. A factory in Cleveland. You should look up Cleveland and find out what state it's in the United States. It was called Marwin Incorporated, Dad Funcraft volunteered. Perhaps you've heard of it. Marwin Inc. Factory in Cleveland? No. Where's Cleveland? Asked Uncle Doll. It's, said Dad Funcraft. Never mind, said Annabelle. You know what? Our families are just the same. We each have a mother and a father and a big sister and a little brother and a baby sister. I am not a little brother, said Bobby. Neither am I, said Bailey from inside the box. They have something in common, don't they? Let's see. Plus, Bobby went on indignantly, we have an uncle and an auntie and a nanny. We have a cat, said Tiffany. Her name is Kitty. Kitty Funcraft. A cat, exclaimed Annabelle. Is she alive? Of course not, said Tiffany. She's a toy animal. Annabelle breathed a sigh of relief. She wondered if Tiffany looked like her. Annabelle decided she did. All dollhouse dolls must look pretty much the same. Tiffany wouldn't have green paint on her head from a long-ago accident involving a paint box, as Annabelle did. And she would be clean and sparkly new, her china skin smooth and uncrackled, her clothes bright and not yet faded, but otherwise Annabelle thought she and Tiffany must look the same. When are your birthdays? Asked Annabelle. What kinds of toys do you have? Asked Bobby. Excuse me, said Mom Funcraft, but before we answer your questions, do you think you could get us out of this box? Goodness no, said Uncle Doll. We couldn't do that. What would the Palmers think? The Palmers, repeated Dad Funcraft. This is their house, said Annabelle, and we, my family and I, live in Kate Palmer's room. Kate is 8. She takes care of our dollhouse. I think you are going to be Nora's dolls. Nora is Kate's little sister. Annabelle glanced at Bobby and Uncle Doll. She knew what they were thinking. It was just what Annabelle was thinking. Those poor, poor Funcrafts, they have no idea what they're getting into. Nora's dolls, what a frightening thought. I hope they are strong. I hope they like farm animals. Remember, because Nora's kind of wild and rough. The Palmer's grandfather clock chimed then, and Uncle Doll took Annabelle's arm. It's time to start heading back. It may take us a while to climb up the stool. Did you see Mr. Bolio in the background? There he is. He wants to be in the videos. We have to go now, Annabelle called to the Funcrafts. Oh, froggies, said Tiffany. You do? Yes, but I don't think you're going to be stuck in this box for long. As soon as we've been unpacked and set up in Nora's room, we'll come visit you. Promise, said Tiffany. Promise, replied Annabelle. We'll bring our whole family, added Bobby. It was nice meeting you, called Mom Funcraft. It was nice meeting you, Annabelle replied politely. Then she and Bobby and Uncle Doll scooted out of the closet, through the sitting room, and down the dark hall to Kate's room. They hoisted themselves up the last step of the stool, just as the clock chimed 4:30. So they got back just in time, and they met a new dollhouse family. I wonder how this is all going to turn out. All right, see you later. Bye.